Welcome, Space Cadets, to another exciting day of playing games in space. Not that specifically I'm known for doing that, but hey, it's the second time since Marathon, right? Anyway, today we're taking a look at a game called Ancient Frontier, a game that surprisingly was made by people from the old Random Thoughts Entertainment team. The team was, well, actually I don't really know any super factual information about it. Basically what happened is I sat down to my computer one day and Random, as his handle is, contacted me and was like, oh hey, by the way, some of the people from Random Thoughts made this game, you should check it out. And I expected it to be, you know, we're talking about the people who made Dib's Dilemma, Rex the Red, Mercenaries of Dozber, so I was sort of expecting some sort of grid-based heavy mechanics, bad graphics sort of game, but this seems like a full-fledged, full-on thing. So I'm really not sure exactly what to expect here. So I thought I'd, well, we just explore it, I guess. Who knows? I hope to be a gracious host, or at least a somewhat host that you can put up with for a little while we check this out. And who knows? Hey, if it was made by the people who made some of the old Random Thoughts games, we're at least in store for some good mechanics, right? At any rate. So I guess we'll start with the lore, because typically, I mean, I would assume we would need to know exactly, like, what's going on. Oh, look, they're even doing my voice. Greetings, Commander! No. Welcome to the frontier. The lives of the men and women who crew your ships are in your hands. Okay, is in your hands. The edge of space is a dangerous place. Here you can learn about the history of each major player found in the frontier and a little more about the universe in general. Oh, this is just, we'll just skip down here. This is of course optional. Enjoy your stay on the frontier, Commander. Good luck out there. The dawn of humanity. History speaks of a dark and troubled time in the ancient past. Humans brought themselves to the brink of extinction. From this chaos emerged the technocrats, a mystical order that revered technology. Oh man, this is awesome. I definitely got to be these guys. The inventions of the technocrats helped humanity to be born anew on Mars. Under the care of and leadership of the technocrats, humanity has flourished. From their temples in their grand cities of Mars, From their temples in the grand cities of Mars, the technocrats managed to conquer even the secrets of interstellar travel. The stars were now the new frontier, and humanity was eager to colonize their new homes. Worship of the technocrats and their secret conclave was absolute. A new golden age of man was born. Oh, darn, I guess we're not gonna be the technocrats. Alright, let's take a bit more of a normal voice approach here. Core worlds. The early days of humanity's expansion was limited only by the ability to find suitable worlds to colonize. Few systems contained planetoids with the same qualities as Mars, but those systems with such worlds became the footholds of future exploration. In total, 11 other Mars-like worlds were found and colonized. Including Mars, humanity now ruled 12 planets throughout the stars. Each world became a sprawling civilization and centers for agriculture, manufacturing, and research. And on each world, the largest structure built was the world's temple to the technocrats, for it was only through the ingenuity of the technocrats that each planet was tamed. Wait, who was the technocrats again? I know it said they were out of the chaos just emerged. So humans were going to die, and then these technocrats just popped up. It never says whether they're humans or not. I mean, I don't know. I hope that they're probably not like the Borg. Let's see here. Eventually, humanity tried to colonize less suitable worlds or build massive space stations and more hospitable systems. The fringe areas required constant resources and shipping from a planet to survive. Each of the 12 planets over time ended up supporting its own ecosystem of outlying colonies. As opposed to people from the 12 core planets, citizens born at the farthest edge of humanity's reach became known as fringers. Yes, that's a common theme. HFSF. Hefisifif. As the sprawling Federation continued to grow, it became harder to unify the various populations and keep the peace. The technocrats foresaw a coming civil war and once again turned to their intellectual prowess. Massive shipyards were constructed over Mars and several other core worlds. From these shipyards, the first interstellar warships were built. What? What? So, hold on. Sprawling Federations became harder to keep the peace, so they build warships? I mean, doesn't that like, what am I trying to say? Doesn't that just like create the problem they're trying to stop? Oh no, they're starting to get close to killing each other. Let's build warships. Well, maybe it was like a nuclear winter. They just wanted to like build a bigger ship to keep people in line. I don't know. The Human Federation Star Force was born, the finest ships ever constructed. The I am never going to be able to say that. HFSF fleet is the pride of humanity. But I thought the technocrats built it. Wait, what? Hang on. We got to figure this out. You know what? This first video will just be the lore video. I think that's probably what's going to end up happening. Technocrats saw it, so they turned. Massive shipyards were constructed. It acts as if the technocrats were sort of the instigators of this building, yet it's called the pride of humanity. Are the technocrats have to be human? I'm sure we'll figure this out when we start playing. The ultimate military academy was founded on Mars, where officers were groomed in strategy, tactics, and loyalty. It's not often strategy and tactics are a given, but loyalty? That's high class right there. With the backing of the HFSF fleet, none of the core worlds or even the fringe colonies would dare challenge the edicts of the High Temple. Designed by the technocrats themselves, each ship class in the HFSF represents the pinnacle of technological achievement. The HFSF weapon... Oh, God, I gotta come up with another name. The HFSF weaponry and shields far outclass those used by any local militias from a core world. What did Zap Brannigan say? Well, we'll show you what a bloated military government funding will do, or something. I butchered that. And through the constant vigilance of her loyal officers, humanity has continued to thrive in peace. Well, typically when you put a giant gun up to someone's head in the shape of a warship, that tends to keep the peace, admittedly. Alright, treasures of deep space. As mankind ventures out into the stars, two discoveries have forever changed the course of history. The first of these is a rare metal known as hydrium, a word I can pronounce. This metallic substance is incredibly strong, dense, and resilient, while also being able to store massive amounts of energy. Awesome, so they're like batteries, or dilithium crystals, or something. Its properties make it difficult to deal with in atmospheric conditions, but it is ideal for deep space construction. Wait, atmospheric, so you can't use it on a planet, but you can use it in space. Hydrium quickly became the foundation for large-scale projects, including the hulls of space capital ships and space stations. That's an interesting thought, isn't it? You build your hull out of something that stores energy, and would you even need to plug in things to an outlet? That's sort of the biggest thing holding technology back well, not the biggest thing, but a thing that holds technology back now is the need to constantly be connected to things. If you could get wireless energy, what am I saying? This has nothing, let's leave this rabbit hole. The second discovery was referred to as proto-energy. This bizarre substance broke all conventional wisdom, as it was an energy source that was in a state of massive flux and was able to be converted into various types of mass. While there were many applications to such an extraordinary phenomenon, the main one was the ability for humanity's far-flung outposts to be able to create the materials they needed to survive without constant deliveries from the core worlds. Proto-energy collection became the foundation of survival on the edges of space. So that's something that the Fringers are using then. The frontier. Within the territory of the core worlds, hydrium was very rare, and proto-energy was non-existent. Wait, how? Okay, why would hydrium be rare? And then proto-energy is that stuff that can change into anything. Core worlds, so that's the 12 planets. Why would it be? Anyway, I guess we should just read. As civilization grew, there was an increased need for hydrium as the supply dwindled. Oh, I should just read. That's clearly the answer. Deep space probes and expeditions were sent to every corner of known space to try and locate more. A large concentration of hydrium was eventually located at the far reaches of drive technology. The frontier, the region of space rich in hydrium, had no suitable systems or planets for colonization. A series of orbital colonies, outposts, mining, and refueling stations were built in this hospital environment. You get the picture. Before long, a steady stream of freighters hauling hydrium from the frontier to the core world shipyards was established. The frontier was deadly and inhospitable without the comforts of the civilized planets, but it was also a place where one could make a fortune. At first, only a few corporations tried to establish mining operations in the frontier, mostly due to the cost of such expeditions. However, when proto-energy was also discovered in the frontier, the fringe space expanded considerably. No longer limited by supply lines from the core worlds, outposts of the frontier rapidly expanded. Okay. The frontier, the old war, the frontier colonists have a troubled past with Mars and the Federation. 17 years ago, as their wealth grew, the colonists declared their independence. Kind of like America, huh? Far from even the core worlds, the colonists were hoping to live under their own laws and establish peaceful trade with the rest of humanity. The Federation declared war on the colonies to bring them back under Martian rule. Typical. The ensuing war was brutal and short. The two top commanders were General Grayson for the colonies and Admiral Travis for the Federation. Well, it's no Edmund Duke, but hey, you know. Each managed to inflict severe losses on the other side. Grayson excelled in hit-and-run tactics, harassing the HFSF, but every major conflict was won by Admiral Travis. Sorry, my reading skills aren't amazing. Eventually, Travis hunted down Grayson's fleet deep in the asteroid belts of Croceus, and the two fought a bitter battle. At the end, Travis and his fleet was victorious. Without any remaining ships, the colonies and General Grayson surrendered. Wait a minute, I'm confused. Two top commanders for the colonies. Oh, man, I totally missed that. Okay, so Grayson was the Fringer admiral, and he played guerrilla warfare. And Admiral Travis just had a bigger fleet, I would assume, because he's from the core world. So without any ships, yeah, Grayson surrendered. An arms embargo was placed on the entire frontier, so the colonists would be unable to arm themselves and rise again. The colonies were allowed to keep their self-elected governors, but each governor was required to swear fealty to the temple. The temple being the technocrats. Alright, shadows in space. Not everyone on the frontier lives in a state-of-the-art Federation colony, or even a corporate mining station. There are others, smugglers, outriggers, mercenaries, and pirates. These fringers make a tidy living preying on the unwary, always sticking to the dark areas of sensor range. These undesirables lead a dangerous life. The frontier is large, and the Hephaestus fleet cannot be everywhere at once. Freighters and miners try to stick to the more heavily patrolled space lanes, but nowhere is truly safe. The threat of pirate attacks keeps even regular civilians moderately armed. Wait, moderately armed with the guns they don't have? Hang on. Embargo on the entire frontier. Colonists were unable to arm themselves. Okay, hang on. Nowhere is truly safe. Even regular civilians. Maybe the people... So the frontier wasn't allowed to keep their weapons, but maybe civilians means people from the core world. Corporate forces will often employ their own gunship. Heavy fighter escort... Oh, that's all one phrase. Will often employ their own gunship heavy fighter escorts for the larger shipments back to the core worlds. The Hephaestus is a powerful but expensive fleet to maintain, and the frontier still needs a stream of supplies from the core worlds. Due to this, all official colonies and chartered corporate outposts have to pay a heavy tax to the overlords on Mars. The cost of protection is high, though most captains find it worthwhile in a fight with their life on the line. Yeah, that makes sense. The Federation eyes cannot be everywhere at once, however. When no Hephaestus cruisers are in the system, there is a thriving demand for black market goods. Whether it is illegal weapons, food, or contraband, two things are always true. No federal taxes and no questions asked. Wait, whether it is... Let's see here. Okay, so we're just talking about the black market here. And no rules apply. Many believe the goods come from pirate raids, although often it is smugglers and mercenaries that appear to be the chief customers. Whatever the truth, most colonies on the frontier will have an underground market. Federation forces run routine custom inspections, but this has done little to stem the tide of illicit deals. The Federation suspects that colony officials and corporate liaisons may even support the black market. Well, if you're gonna be an overlord, I'd support the rebels too. I mean, come on. Still, as long as the steady shipments of hydrium keep flowing back to the core worlds on Hefesif, Hefesif does not turn the screws too tightly. That's a nice phrase. A rogue fleet. Recently, the pirate raids on the frontier have been more bold. Freighters along major ship lanes have been hijacked and entire harvests of hydrium lost. The pirates are also striking with larger and more advanced craft, counting several lighter cruisers among their fleet. Their ships are typically very fast with lots of firepower. Federation admirals have debated the cause of the more sophisticated pirate attacks. A fleet that included cruisers could not hide in the shadows forever. Such ships would need repairs and a place to berth. Pirates are unwelcome and persecuted throughout known space. The building of a covert base so far out in space seems unlikely, given the sheer cost of such an endeavor. The Hefesif would dearly like to know what sympathetic colony is daring to aid this scourge. Maybe if you guys let them keep their guns, didn't make them work on crappy mining facilities, and maybe stopped being their overlords, they wouldn't aid the pirates. That's just my opinion, though. Alright, where did we stop here? Minor engagements against armed civilians by raiding outriggers have revealed that the bandits are well equipped. Snatches of data scans from survivors suggest that a much larger force may be at work, disrupting the hydrium trade. It's like the plotline of Baldur's Gate. With the iron. But how can such a fleet hide without a home? Who is building these ships with outlawed technology? What really hides in the dark reaches of the frontier? Well, hey man, it's ancient history. Okay. I think that was it, right? The Alliance, the Federation. I need to. Okay. All right. I think we got it. So, we'll pick up there then in the next video and see what this nonsense is all about. Looks pretty fun, actually.